Hello Team Amazing, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please do not forget to subscribe and ring the bell so that you get all the beautiful content that I upload on a weekly basis. So let's get right into it. In this video, I'm gonna list some of the things that are commonly used or experienced by Africans throughout the world. So wherever you are, as long as you have African parents or you have African roots, you may experience one or two of these things. I'm sure you can relate with at least one. If you can't relate with any of these, then I'm sorry for not having a life. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry for yeah. I'm just sorry. So, you know you're African when your parents use Vicks to cure each and every disease that you might have. You have a headache, they'll put Vicks on your forehead. If you have a cold, they'll put Vicks in your water so that you sniff it. Vicks is like the solution to everything. If you know, you know. You know you're African when you're able to speak more than 3 languages, and it's like a normal thing for you. So usually most African countries have English and some local languages as their official languages. So on average, Africans can speak 3 languages and above. You know you're African when you visit Western countries. For example, you visit the US and you're asked, where are you from? And you say, for example, I say Zambia. And someone is like, is that a city in Africa? And I'm like, oh my god, how do you call my country a city? Anyway.
Wow, isn't that Tom Cruise? What?
That's how, when you know you're African, when people don't know where Zambia is actually located or which part of Africa's country is, then you know you're African. You know you're African when you're invited for a party at 3 p.m, then you go at 6 p.m. That's how you know you're African. Obviously, as African people, we respect African time. You can't go to a 2 p.m. party at 2 p.m. because you'll find no one there waiting for you. Yeah, but obviously when it comes to official things, we respect that time. I mean, you go at 2 p.m, but normal things like parties and stuff like that, we go 2 hours after. So that's when the mood is late.
Are you sure about that?
Sometimes even when our presidents are addressing the nation, they come 30 minutes late. That's what we call African time. We respect our African time very much. You know you're African when you see a black cat crossing your road and you be like, oh my gosh, that's bad luck. An average African knows that a black cat represents evil. So if a black cat crosses your road, it brings bad luck. That's when you know you're African. You know you're African when you're walking with your parents in town, then you stop, you make like 10 stops just greeting people, and each of these conversations will take approximately 5 minutes. So you spend the whole 3 hours just talking to random people who you don't even know. In fact, your parents will even tell you, oh, you remember this child? This is like, they will tell the whole history in the road. That's when you know you're African. You're African, don't walk with your parents in town because shame. It's the worst. It's the worst. My uncle would tell people where you're from, who died. He says everything. Oh, it's the child of my son. That's, oh man, that one would shame.
Patrick, that's not a ride.
Really, nigga?
You know you're African when you use all the finished ice cream tabs for storing food, or as well as lunch boxes to carry to school. I used to rock those lunch boxes. You know you're African when you use all the juice bottles, all the bottles that have, you reuse all the juice bottles for keeping water in the fridge. That's when you know you're African. I don't know if that's just a Zambian thing, but you know you're African when you meet people from Western world countries and they're like, how come you speak good English when you're from Africa?
Oh my god, he's dying, call 911.
What's the number? Really, nigga? What's the number?
We're colonized by these people. At least we would have learned something from them. We can't just colonize us for years without learning English. Shame. English is our official languages. In most countries, English is the official language. So don't ask me why I speak good English, even though it isn't good. You know you're African when you add water to the remaining dishwashing liquid. You shake it, you shake it, you shake it, and boom, a new dishwashing liquid has been formed. That's how you know you're African. Life hack! This one is usually, I'm sure it only happens to ladies or, I don't know, African ladies. Because people be like, you look, whenever you change your hairstyle and your friends are like, you look different with each every hairstyle. It's like, yeah, that's black girl magic. Oh, they'll be like, how long did it take you to do all those braids? It took 5 days. Anyway, it just takes 4 hours. Yeah, but stop asking me that. Stop asking me how long it took me to do my braids, because it's creepy. You know you're African when Americans and Europeans struggle to pronounce your name. They keep butchering your name. Like they butcher it like, I don't know. My name is Tabu, but Shem. The pronunciations I've gotten there. Let me just end there. You know you're African when your visiting uncle gives you money and your mother says, let me keep it for you. Then you never see that money. That's when you know you're African. You know you're African when the toothpaste is never fully finished until you cut it or you squeeze everything out. In fact, I remember in my boarding school, would even cut the what is the toothpaste and pass the toothbrush. Then you know you're African.
Really, nigga?
You know you're African when your foreign friends ask you if you speak African. I mean, that's the most absurd question I've ever experienced. I mean, I've ever been asked, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Zambia. Where's Zambia? I was like, Zambia's in Africa? Oh, do you speak African? I'm like, do you speak American? They're like, no, you speak English. I was like, yeah, we also speak English and other languages. There's no language called African. No one speaks African in Africa. So people get that right. No one speaks African. You know you're African when someone asks you a question and you answer that question with another question. Then you know you're African. Like, for example, where are you going? I'm like, why are you asking? I'm like, dude, I'm just asking where you're going. And I'm also like, why are you asking where I'm going? How does that matter? Does that concern you? You know you're African. You know you're African when this part of your eyelid, I don't know which one is the eyelid. I don't know which one. Yeah, this. When this part is swollen, or even the top part is swollen, and when people start asking you, did you see someone naked or some other person naked? Why do you have that? Yeah, then you know you're African. I'm gonna put it there because I don't know what it's called. Yeah, that thing. Yes, that one is related to you seeing the naked person. In fact, a naked old person. You know you're African when you go abroad and your family, you go abroad or overseas, and your family says, they'll be like, don't post any pictures because you'll be bewitched by people who are not happy with your success. So you'll be like stuck experiencing everything and not posting it on social media because the uncles will bewitch you. You know you're African when you meet people, I mean, from the Western, obviously, they're the ones who usually ask such dumb questions. I mean, right questions. They'll be like, how did you get here? I was like, okay, how did you get here yourself? I was riding on an elephant's back, then we walked for a long time, then I used the cheetah, then I got here by holding on the shark's tail. Yeah, that's when you know you're African, when you're asked such stupid questions. You know you're African when someone asks, oh, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Zambia, Africa. Oh, do you know, I have a friend in Kenya. Do you know them? Like, literally, are you asking me that? How am I supposed to know someone from Kenya when I don't even know people in my neighborhood in Zambia? That's when you know you're from Africa, when people ask you such stupid questions. You know you're African when you're in a class full of white people, and when you talk about slavery, everyone looks at you so that you explain something. That's when you know you're from Africa.
I'm like really sorry about slavery.
Really, nigga?
So guys, tell me what you thought about this video, and most of these things in this video are adapted to what I have experienced and what other people have experienced. I mean, it just gives a general thing of what Africans really are, but individually other people might have not experienced this, and I don't really mind if they haven't experienced, but it's like a majority thing. Thanks for watching, guys, and please tell me if I left out something that you thought might have been nice for me to put there. And what do you think? Did you relate with any of these things, or you didn't? Yeah, just be honest. Yeah. So yeah, and please keep watching, keep sharing, keep subscribing, and see you in the next video.